And sitting at 22, Alex, could you throw this graphic up? Dan Campbell at 22. There you go. And the description they put, obviously his career record, and it says third season with Detroit, third as head coach, meaning, now I guess if you don't count the interim head coach, it would be his third season. It writes here on CBS, a walking embodiment of testosterone. Campbell's fiery optimism finally translated to wins in 2022, and his late-year staffing changes helped fuel defensive strides. Now his challenge will be meeting expectations, ensuring quarterback Jared Goff is protected while the Lions try to capture their first NFC North title in 30 years. Now, the reason why, and again, Dan Campbell at 22, if you're talking about career records, fine, 17, 28, and 1. It's comparable to some of these other guys. I don't think it's fair, because you look at Kevin Stefanski, you look at Brian Daboll. Brian Daboll is the only one that I would listen to, because Brian walked into a situation that wasn't great. The Giants roster isn't all that impressive. They have guys, Saquon Barkley, they have a pretty good secondary, they have a pretty good defensive line, but it's not a ton of marquee guys. It just isn't. And Daboll still 9-7-1 with Daniel Jones at quarterback. That man deserves an Oscar just for that alone. And you win 9 games. But he's 15. Dan Campbell last season went 9-8. And despite the 3-13-1, Sam, I don't think he should be as low as 22. I think Dan deserves a little more respect because of how the Lions looked last season. If we're taking into account last season, the 1-6 start, I understand, but you got to factor in that 8-2 stretch where they were, again, offensively, still one of the best teams in the NFL offensively, but they were one of the hottest teams in the NFL at the end of the season, the last 10 games. So I think that matters, but 22 is a little low in my opinion, but we're at this point nitpicking.
Well, this is the classic case of many, many things can be true. Dan Campbell, I think we would all agree, we would all approve of the job he did last season with the Detroit Lions. Obviously, in 2021, they won 3 games. They tripled their win total in 2022 and got to 9. That cannot be overlooked. That cannot be questioned. And Dan Campbell, he seemed to mature as a coach as the season went along, especially opposed as to the season before, where he was making smarter decisions. And obviously, I think his best move as a coach ever was when he fired his friend, or he demoted his friend Anthony Lynn, and empowered Ben Johnson. The rest is history. The offense has basically been humming ever since then.